¿Qué pasa, YouTube? How's it going, everybody? Happy for you guys today. Pretty fun, very close Uber's Wi-Fi battle I had against Astradon off of my Discord. Of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below and let me know in the comment section below what is your favorite Uber's Pokemon to use in the Ubers tier. It doesn't necessarily need to be an Uber's Pokemon because, as you can see from my opponent's team, she's got a Garchomp, which I've not seen Garchomp in Ubers since I think like 5th gen, so I'm not really too sure what it does, but I guess worst case scenarios going into this game is that it's either going to be Scarfed or sub SD, so I have to be careful with that. But also, Primal Groudon could be a little bit scary depending on the set, and then Marshadow is always terrifying to deal with. So this is a very hyper offensively based team that I believe I got off of Harris's Discord, as I'm going to be leading off with my Deoxys Speed here. She's going to be leading off with her Primal Groudon. Now, unfortunately, Primal Groudon is kind of an issue for this team to break. Like, if I could get it in on the hazards so I can take that necessary chip damage, then it's not as big of an issue, but because she did end up leading off with it, this is a little bit problematic just because of how bulky Primal Groudon really is. Either way though, I'm going to go ahead and just get up my rocks turn 1 because she's got no way of getting rid of them, and I want to get up as many hazards as I possibly can because that's the idea behind this team. That's basically what hyper offense is. You lead with the suicide lead and you just get up hazards and then go from there and hopefully start claiming KOs. So she ends up going straight for the Precipice Blade, as this turn I'm going to get up my first layer of spikes. I thought about maybe going for the taunt, but I just felt that it was in my best interest to at least try to get up as many layers of spikes as I possibly could. Plus, rocks really aren't that big of an issue to this team. Plus, I'm probably not going to be switching in and out too many times since, again, it is hyper offense. So I will at least be able to get up rocks and 2 layers of spikes, which is going to be excellent because now her team is going to be losing a good amount of HP every time they are switching in and out. So the Groudon ends up knocking me out here, as I will be able to bring in my Lucario here. Unfortunately, Lucario doesn't necessarily do entirely too much in this battle because she may have Scarf Chomp, she's got Speed Boost Blaziken, and then of course she's got the Mega Metagross. So I thought that if anything, the most expendable team member on my team was going to be Lucario. So by bringing in Lucario here, I will be able to go straight for the close combat. Even with the crit, I will not be able to knock out this Groudon, but I will end up doing enough damage to where I can easily revenge kill it with something else on my team, as she's going to just obliterate me with this Sun boosted Fire Punch, and I'm at -1 defense too. That is completely overkill right there. So I will be able to bring in my Marshadow here, which is going to allow me to potentially just get a KO in general. And honestly, I thought about going just for the close combat, but the issue with just going for close combat or just with my Spectral Thief is that if she is a very physically defensive Groudon, which judging from the close combat damage she could very well be, I decided just to pop my Z move here. Realistically, I'm probably not going to Z move on anything else on her team after the hazards damage anyways. So if anything, I wanted to ensure a KO here on the Groudon, or if for some reason she wanted to switch out, then whatever came in was going to get absolutely blown back as well. So down goes the Primal Groudon. I believe I am down 4 to 5, but I do have rocks and 2 layers of spikes up, as in comes the Marshadow. After the hazard, she is definitely in range of Shadow Sneak, so this was really a bad play on my part. Like, there was no reason for me to stay in here. I could have honestly just switched right into my Primal Groudon, but I was like, if I win the speed tie, then hey, that's great. Unfortunately though, I don't want a speed tie, and that was foolish thinking on my part because I'm not going to get lucky at all. So she ends up knocking out my Marshadow, which does kind of suck, but I do get a free switch into my Yveltal here. I can definitely go straight for the Dark Pulse, but I end up going for the Oblivion Wing just because it was kind of the safer middle ground play. But in hindsight, Dark Pulse might have definitely been the better play in this scenario. The only downside to Dark Pulsing though was that then she got a free switch into Blaziken, which Blaziken could be a little bit scary to deal with depending on what set she exactly is. So I do end up doing a decent little bit of damage to the incoming Metagross, and I gain back some HP, which is nice because I can nullify some of that Stealth Rock damage. So I am locked into the Oblivion Wing, as I will be forced out here, and I can switch directly into my own Primal Groudon, which will easily be able to live an Ice Punch or most likely a Meteor Mash, considering that Meteor Mash does hit everything that I have left on my team. So I do get a free switch into this beautiful shiny Primal Groudon. I know I say it all the time, but shiny Primal Groudon is just so amazing, man. That's probably like my top 5 favorite shinies right there. It looks so cool. So she does, of course, turn out to be Mega Metagross, which I've seen a couple times in Ubers. Typically, I've just seen 4-Htax Metagross, Mega Metagross in Ubers. So she's gonna go straight for the Meteor Mash, doing a decent little bit of damage. And this next turn, the Earthquake is very obvious, but I know I can live one. And I guess I could have potentially switched into my Yveltal here, but if anything, being able to guarantee live one hit and then knock out this Metagross is pretty solid, because my Yveltal, once this Metagross goes down, can just come in and I can spam Oblivion Wing, and I am modest max special attack, and there are rocks up and 2 layers of spikes up, so I should be able to get some pretty good KOs potentially, and thanks to Oblivion Wing, I can recover off any prior damage that I may take if I fail to knock something out. So she's gonna end up bringing the Blaziken here, which is absurdly terrifying, but I do still have my Xerneas in the back, which has not taken any damage, and even after rocks, I should be able to live any one hit coming from this Blaziken depending on her set, which it turns out that she's actually Z-move, which is kind of good for me because this guarantees that my Xerneas should live any one hit, and then in return I can KO her back. So I'm guessing she went for the Z-move here because she didn't want to risk missing high jump kick, or maybe she just thought Flare Blitz would have knocked me out. I guess realistically she wouldn't have popped the Z-move on anything else because high jump kick still does a lot of damage to Yveltal. I think actually Yveltal just gets knocked out after rocks by high jump kick anyway, so I guess she could have saved it for that, but if she had missed here, that actually would have been worse for her, I think, if she potentially missed on my Yveltal. Either way though, I do get a free switch into my Xerneas here. I will be able to take a Flare Blitz, but turns out that she's got the Blaze Kick, which is actually a little bit upsetting because I could have potentially gone for the Geomancy here and then taken another Blaze Kick, and then I would have been at +2 special attack, special defense, and speed. Either way though, I will be able to knock out the Blaziken, as in comes the Marshadow. Actually, if I had gone for Geomancy, Marshadow could have just gone for Shadow Seek, so maybe it really didn't matter if I Geomancy there or not. I guess she could have missed potentially, but that would have really sucked. Either way though, Marshadow will be able to come in here, and because it is Life Orb and I'm not running too many HP EVs, she will be able to knock me out, as at this point I'm down to my Yveltal, but Yveltal still has a very good chance to just pull me out the victory here. So I will be able to bring it in here. I know I am going to be faster than this Marshadow because I'm Scarfed, and that Marshadow is Life Orb. Even if she went for the Shadow Sneak, it wouldn't have done entirely too much damage because obviously I do resist it. And I guess the only benefit of her going for Shadow Seek was that I would have got slightly less HP back, but even then, I don't really think it's that crucial, as I will be able to knock out the Marshadow. In comes the Garchomp. At this point, I'm thinking maybe this is like Scarf Chomp, which I may be able to safely live one Outrage from, and I'm hoping that my Oblivion Wing will be enough to knock it out if I am faster than her. So I go for the Oblivion Wing. Unfortunately, Garchomp does have some really nice natural bulk and will just chew the hit like it's nothing, as she's going to go straight for the Outrage, which thankfully I will be able to live, which is nice because now that I am going to be faster than her, I can gain back a little bit more HP. So at this point, it comes down to whether or not her Darkrai is Scarfed, because if Darkrai isn't Scarfed, after I hit it with an Oblivion Wing, if I'm not able to knock it out, I should be out of range of where she can knock me out with any one attack. So if I don't fail to KO this Darkrai, I can still win as long as it's not Scarfed. So she brings in the Darkrai. Turns out that she's not Scarfed, and I will be able to go for the Oblivion Wing, as I just barely missed out on the KO. I might have been able to knock her out if I got up my 3rd layer of spikes. I'm not entirely too sure, honestly. And then it turns out she's got the Dark Void, which it's just so funny to me because there's no reason to run Dark Void on Darkrai anymore. It's 50 accuracy. Like if she had Hypnosis, that'd be a little less upsetting, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, with her hitting that Dark Void, that basically just seals the victory for her, and she actually ends up getting a crit here with the knockoff. Honestly, I don't know if that knockoff crit mattered or not. If she didn't crit me and I still lived this Dark Pulse and I woke up, then yeah, I won. But I don't know. Either way though, it was a fun game, so good game to Astradon. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. And with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow on Wednesdays. So later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.